All right, everyone, what I have in front of me right now is the WarSaw Chapter Mid. I did want to do a review on these shoes. This is Jamie Thomas's new company. Super rad, super stoked for them. I'll get into the details about the shoes and all of that, but I do want to give a big thank you to Zach Sales from Official Military Skate for hooking me up with these bad boys. He also got me a shirt and some other goodies, so super sick. So thank you, Zach from Official Military Skate. I love you, brother. All right, so let's get into the skating first, and then I will talk about the shoes. Let's get to it.
You got the camera set up?
All right, so that's some skating with the shoes. So first thing I'm going to kind of dive into, I feel like this is really important about the shoes, is the quality of the materials that Jamie used. I mean, it's kind of unbelievable. When I think I saw photos of them before I watched the 9 Club episode, and then I watched the 9 Club episode, the most recent one with Jamie in it, and he's talking about all of the materials that he picked out. He handpicked everything. I think he did all the sizing and all of that. And listening to him talk about the shoes and all the things that he picked out and how he kind of managed to get premium, really premium materials for a price that's reasonable in today's skate shoe market is pretty awesome. So the upper, I believe this is all pig suede. It feels fantastic. I've been skating these shoes for I think about a week or so now. The upper has not bagged out or anything like that. It hasn't lost its form. It doesn't feel like, I don't know if you've ever tried like a mid-top shoe and they start to kind of like get really flimsy up here. It still has some rigidity, which I really do love. And this is pretty much one piece, the upper. I think there's a seam like right here, so it just kind of wraps from here all the way around the shoe, and then there's just this little X here, which is a cool detail. It's kind of like a anti-corporate branding thing, according to Jamie. So that's pretty rad. As far as the way the upper kind of grips and everything like that when I'm skating, it grips fantastic. This suede is just amazing. I'm honestly kind of blown away because I didn't know. I loved the look of the shoes, but I didn't know. I was like, well, I could love the look of them, but they might not skate well. And I encourage you guys to go watch the 9 Club episode because he does a better job talking about the shoes than I do, but like especially materials. But the suede just it grips so freaking good, and it just feels so good. Like you run your hand across it and it feels amazing. Like I definitely see where he was trying to make a shoe it functions well in skateboarding, but then if you wanted to wear this out, say you go on a date, you go to wherever, you got to go to a wedding, a funeral, anything, you could definitely put this shoe on and it'll still look clean and crisp. It's just got a really good, simple silhouette. And because it doesn't have massive branding all over it, it kind of just goes with anything. Like you could say go out on a date and you could be like, well, I'm going to throw on my Nike shirt or whatever like that, and I'm going to wear these shoes. It's not like, it doesn't look like you're clashing brands like crazy. You know, you see people wear like Adidas pants and they got Nike shoes, Reebok shirt. It's like, it just looks wild to me. This is pretty sick because it's like you can kind of wear anything with it, and that's really cool. So that's kind of about the silhouette of the shoe, but also the way the I'll go to the gum. So he said in the 9 Club episode, he touched on it, I think briefly. He picked the taping height for the shoe based off of, I guess, one of his previous favorite shoes. It was like his favorite like taping height, and it's really good. The taping doesn't go up too far over the top of it to where you have to kind of wear it down a little bit to get the flick that you want when you first start skating the shoe. It was like there was no break-in process for the gum and figuring out the flick. It was like immediately, it was predictable. It didn't wear down super fast. I flick really hard, especially for kick flips in particular. I flick really, really hard. And if you can tell, I don't know if you can see it right there, but the gum is barely worn down there, and that's pretty impressive to me because of how many I did. I probably did close to like, I don't know, 150 kick flips or something like that at least, and then probably 100, close to 100 kick flips, and then like a ton of, other tricks, heel flips, varial heels, all kinds of stuff, frontside flips, whatever. I tried to frontside flip over this one hip because I'd never done it over hip before, and I tried that a bunch till I finally got one. It was crappy, but so the gum is amazing for the way it flicks and everything like that. And because I'm talking about the gum, I'll go to the tread. So that was one thing I was kind of curious about, because the tread on this, it's not like a traditional herringbone type tread. It's just these diagonal lines. And then it's got this part, which is, very similar to like a dunk, where you would, you have a space to shuffle your feet. But the tread, I was pretty shocked. It gripped so well, and it didn't feel slippery on any type of ground or surface, like whether it was slick ground or rough ground or anything like that. And also, because of the way the tread is, I don't know if this was on purpose or not. It probably wasn't, but it just didn't seem to pick up like little pebbles and rocks, because there's like a spots that I skate, and I just tend to get little pebbles in my shoes. It didn't happen at all with these, and that could just be, I don't know, that could have just been luck of the draw, but it seems like the tread just doesn't pick up things, which is kind of nice, And the tread hasn't worn down at all. I mean, it's dirty, but really I'm looking at it and it's not smoothed out at all. And I skated these shoes, by the way, with brand new board, like a brand new board, fresh grip the entire time, like both of the setups that I used, and fresh mob grip. So if there's something that's going to wear down tread or wear down the rubber on your shoes, it's going to be that. But I had no problems with it wearing down prematurely. And as far as, so we'll go down to, let's see, I believe the tongue, I don't know if it is. I think the whole tongue, and then like the liner and everything. I think it's the opposite. It's pig suede, but it's like the opposite side. I think the reverse side of it or something like that. And it grips your foot really well, so you can have these laced super loose, and it's not gonna slip off your heel. Because I tried it at first, I had them like kind of loose, and then like I watched clips and I was like, I don't know if I like the way it like looks like on footage, like skating like that. So I like tightened them up a little bit, not like crazy. And still it felt great. It breathed a lot better than I thought it was going to. These little tiny vents on the side, like there's some right here, and then there's two on the inside. Like I did feel breeze coming through these vents. So they are well placed, which I like. One thing that's like vulcanized shoes don't normally I don't normally have good heel flips with vulcanized shoes, and this could just be because it's the mid top version. But um, I I know I'm going back to the upper, but I had a great heel flip in the shoe, and that was kind of surprising to me as well. But back to the inside. So I think this is all pig suede, and then it's got really good like lycra tongue straps on the inside. They're very similar to like a. They're not like they don't look like cheap tongue straps. They look like a nice like stretchy like mesh, and they don't bug the sides of your feet at all. So that's great. I'll pull out the insole really fast. Talk about this insole. He did a fantastic job with this insole. This is like it hasn't compacted at all, and I'm not a light guy. I mean, I've lost some weight, but I'm not really a light guy. I still weigh like 178 pounds, and that's just as of recently. But this hasn't like flattened out, and then the top of this is also like a nice. I think this is still suede. I think this is also pig suede. So it's like he said you could wear these without socks, and they'll still be really comfortable. And I could definitely see that. This was fantastic. I didn't feel like my socks were like my feet were slipping around in the shoes at all. They felt like gripped, planted. This insole is like a slightly thicker heel, and it's not a super thin forefoot either, which is nice. I don't know exactly how he did this. I'm sure he tested a bazillion insoles because he did this all himself. But this is just, the insole is fantastic. I have no problems with it. None. And I landed primo, and this could be a mixture of the rest of the shoe as well. But I landed primo pretty hard a couple times, and typically with a vulcanized shoe, I'll feel it. Like I'll feel it like right away. I didn't feel anything. And this, I forget what this is called. David from Blue Tile knows the name of this board or whatever. Even that's got like a little tiny bit of padding over top of it, like on the inside. I don't know if you can see. It's not just like cardboard or whatever. And it's stitched together. Everything's stitched together so well. I'm kind of blown away. I didn't know how these would be, and as soon as I took them out of the box, I was like, wow. Like, just you pick them up and they have a little bit of weight to them. It's not like too much to where you're like, I feel like I have bricks on my feet. It's like just enough. And you can tell the materials are just really, really just high quality. I'm so impressed. This is by far the best mid-top shoe that I think I've ever skated. And in recent memory, this is up there with this has got to be one of the best shoes I've skated, period, since I came back to skating, which is really saying something because I'm a big New Balance fan. I'm a really big fan of the 440 V2, and that was like 440 V2 to me was like my top. That was like my top favorite shoe, and this is like already, this is right up there with it. And another thing that's kind of cool, I break laces like crazy, especially like top laces and stuff like that. I don't know what the heck with the lace placement, but I'm barely fraying any of my laces. And the laces haven't come untied or anything like that. They don't feel too thin, too thick. They've gripped really well, so you don't have to double knot them. Man, I'm just so impressed with this shoe. Normally I wouldn't think like, oh, a vulcanized shoe is worth like I want to say these are. I can't remember if these are 105 or 110, but I was like, normally I'd be like, I don't know if it's worth it. But there's a lot of shoes out there that are like around that mark, and they don't skate nearly as well as this. I'm not going to call any shoes out, but this is well worth it, especially for the durability I've seen so far. I mean, you just get a shoe that skates really well right away, looks good with everything. Something about the look down factor and everything like that, everything that I was doing felt like effortless for me, for my abilities. And that's just, I don't know. I'm so impressed. I don't have a single thing, to be honest with you, that I don't like about these shoes. Like, I like these so much. I'm not a slip-on guy normally, but I want to try the slip-ons, and I want to try the normal chapter, the low version, because these are so freaking good. Like, they're definitely worth the price tag. If you're looking at shoes that are kind of in that price range, this should be in there with you. Whether you like vulcanized shoes or cup sole shoes or what, you get like a lot of the best things from both worlds out of this one shoe, which is super rad. So, anyways, that's all that I have to say about these shoes. If you're on the fence about them, I highly recommend trying a pair. At least go to your shop if your shop has them, pick them up, feel them in your hands, and you'll be able to see right away how, like, the quality of this shoe. I mean, it's pretty impressive. People were kind of comparing to the Last Resort, not to take a dump on Last Resort, but Last Resorts, in my opinion, they kind of tend to get flimsy a little quick. These are not feeling that way at all. These are just in the padding and everything like that. It's like, it's just right. It's around the heel counter and everything like that, or around the collar. It's just right. So I wish nothing but the best for Jamie. He's a legend. So someone I always looked up to growing up and skating. You know, I can't tell you how many times I watched his part in Welcome to Hell, and then also like Zero Parts and everything like that. I mean, it's just, dude's a legend. And so thank you to Jamie for taking the time to write a little note to me on the picture that was sent to me with the shoes and everything like that. I really do appreciate it. And yeah, so wish nothing but the best for Jamie and this company. And I really hope that, you know, the company succeeds. And based on what I'm seeing from these shoes, if people try them, they're gonna love them. These are just fantastic. So I'll catch you guys soon. Let me know what you guys would like to see next. And yeah, and no, I haven't forgot about the Frontside Bag Company review. I just did want to get this out because Zach was kind enough to send me a pair of these. So yeah, I'll catch you guys soon. Hope you enjoyed the skating. Hope you enjoyed the review. Later.